recapping another busy week of prep sports. It's High School Sports Talk on ESPN Radio 94.1.
Back here on the program, joined by a special guest. He's taken the Norview boys to the state championship before. He took the Norview girls to the state tournament last year. Hey, not many coaches can say they've gone to states with both the boys and girls basketball program and his girls in action today against the juggernaut that is Prentice Ann. But we're talking about the Norview girls. 1 o'clock at the Scope today, and Coach Jonathan Wilson joins us. Coach, good morning. Congrats on the season so far. How you feeling today?
Great. Thanks for asking, Matt. All is well.
That's good to hear. Well, tell us about your young ladies and the contributions you've gotten so far to get to this point. You beat Indian River in the quarterfinal round. You come from a very tough, competitive Eastern District where you see the likes of a Lake Taylor and other teams that are perennial playoff teams. But you probably imagine this team was ready for it given last year's run?
Yes. I mean, it's just been a blessing. We had 3 seniors, and the rest is all underclassmen, juniors, sophomores, and 4 freshmen. So it's all about preparation, and the girls are embracing the change in the culture, and they're starting to believe in what we're capable of doing. We're not trying to put the cart before the horse, so we're just excited for the moment and looking forward to playing at a high level and competing.
Hey, John, Coach Young here too. Hey, congrats to this point, even though I know there's more work to get done and situations to take care of, especially today. Right now, what's your overall record?
Overall, we're 19-4.
19-4.
2 of those losses came to, of course, Lake Taylor, who's outstanding program, and we lost to Riverdale Baptist, which is one of their top programs in the country as well. So those were our primary losses right there. We lost to LC Bird out of the Richmond area, who's probably one of the top 2 teams in 5A up there as well. So.
Well, again, right there, you lost to very, very, very good teams. So you didn't lose to the last place team and whatever. Nobody snuck up on you. So you kept your girls operating at a high efficiency so far this year, and now, of course, your reward is, because of how it's set up, one of the best programs in the country. Let's skip the state of Virginia, and it's the country with what Darnell Dozier's done there. But I've got sneaky suspicion in my mind, having the opportunity as you as a friend, and, of course, way back when you were a player for me, a competitor, you were one of my greatest competitors. I'm not so sure you'd have it any other way because in your mind, you know you got to beat them anyway somewhere, so you got them first. So tell me about it.
Absolutely. You know, Coach, you coach me, and I'm a firm believer. You know, I have the utmost respect for Coach Dozier and what he's done for that program, bar none. But in the famous words of with player to beat a man, you got to beat the man. So,
you got it.
You know, we don't want to go around it. You know, I've never been the type to be satisfied with just making it. So if we're going to be that program that we're trying to become, we have to go through the program that's on top. So I'm not satisfied with just saying we made it to states. You know, we expect to win. And in order to do that, you have to go through Prentice Ann. So we're prepared for that mentally, emotionally, physically, and we don't have to be the best program, but we expect to play 32 minutes of good basketball, and if we do that, we'll be successful.
Do you draw back, and Coach Young and I got a chance to watch it last year, Coach, your region championship game against Prentice Ann, and we both sat there a little surprised as well as impressed as your young ladies hung with them for a half. I mean, that game was tight. They pulled away second half, but can you take any of that from last year, drawback on that experience, and use it as confidence today, or do you not want to use that as much in terms of your preparation?
We haven't used that because it's a different makeup and team. Again, you know, we know that Prentice Ann is that program, and we respect that. And going into every game, we respect each opponent as if it's a championship game. So our approach to this game is no different than when we play one of the lower tier teams in our league. If we're better, then we're going to play at a high efficiency and level. So we're not approaching this game as if it's, you know, for all the marbles, even though that's what's on the line. Our approach to this game is like any other regular season game. You know, we just want to play our best basketball on today and see how we can compete. So with having that mindset all year long, you know, the girls have embraced that, and we understand that, you know, if we play to the best of our ability and control the things that we can control, minimize our live ball turnovers, executing the half-court set, take away transition from what Princess Anne like to do, then we can be highly effective against them.
Joined by Norview head girls basketball coach Jonathan Wilson. His Lady Pilots at 19-4 overall, trying to go back to the state tournament. Our guest here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1. Norview and PA girls tip it off at Scope, the quad header today. 1 o'clock is their game, and Coach Wilson, a former player of Ed Young at Norview, he's taking the Norview boys to states, the Norview girls to states, and a big task today, Ed.
Yeah, John, I do want to say appreciate you coming on. I know it's game day. You're playing early, and I know you probably don't want to be bothered, but so I really appreciate you doing it. So we won't keep you long, but let's talk about your young ladies. Tell us your team. Maybe start with some seniors, and then also if they've got some college potential, maybe they're getting some looks. And then secondly, as you talk about players, who maybe is that one kid that didn't get a lot of limelight, nobody really talked about early, but and your staff know one of the reasons we're playing PA today is because of this young lady. So go ahead and talk about your squad.
Oh, well, we're led by 3 seniors, 6'2" senior forward, Talia Edmonds, who's come along really, really well. She's drawing some college interest. She's kind of the anchor inside. So we feel like we can match up with PA's post player because we have a 6'2" interior girl as well. We also have a 6'2" sophomore in Micaiah Times who's making the adjustment from private school to public school, and she's playing consistent for us as well. We have a junior in Janiyah Giyu who plays high-level basketball and capable of competing at a high level. So we feel like we have that wing player that can match up with Princess Anne's wings. We also have a sophomore guard who is by far the backbone and the glue to our toughness in Taylor Arthur. Very gritty, under the radar, physical, aggressive guard that makes us go. She thrives on playing defense, and she's just the piece that keeps us going. She was under the weather against Indian River, and she still played well. So I asked her, what was she at from a scale of 1 to 10, and she said, Coach, playing PA, I got to bring my best. So if she plays well, hopefully we can contain their best guard in Jason Clinton, and that'll put us on neutral ground. And then I have confidence in the other girls that we play that have gained experience, my freshmen and a couple more sophomores. Senior guard John Quill Rogers, who's been totally consistent for us, and if she plays well, along with Morgan Williams, I think we'll have a great chance to beat Princeton.
As you look back on the season that you had, and you mentioned earlier an LC Bird team that you played. I mean, they lost last night in the region championship, but they're going on to states out of Region B along with Highland Springs and some of those games that prepared you for this point. What's the thing that you've seen from your team that you didn't expect on the positive side? What's kind of the area that you would pinpoint, we've been better at this than I might have thought?
Our maturity, Matt. We've matured quicker than what I expected us. Again, having 4 freshmen, 4 sophomores, 2 juniors, losing both my top scorers last year in Asia Deal and Aya Holly Reed, who both are playing at Elizabeth City State. The adjustment and the thing that I'm most proud of the team is how they embrace next man up. And we matured quicker than I expected us. We've learned to play in close game situations. And handle pressure situations well. And I think that's what you need when you're going to play tough competition, because you're going to have to be able to execute in a half-court set. So with them maturing and growing and just embracing responsibility and leadership, I think that helped us get to where we are right now. Still have a ways to go, but if we do the little things and stay confident in what their role is within the overall scope of the team, I think they will be successful going forward, not only this season, but the years to come.
Well, John, I'm not going to keep you holding much more. Like I said, I know you might want to do some last-minute preps and get your mind sight ready. I appreciate you coming on. I wish you the best. I wish you were playing the PA team as a fan. I wish you'd be playing PA in the state title, but that's not going to happen, and I know you're going to do well. I've got much respect for you, great love for you, and definitely want to talk some basketball with you soon, because, every time I hear you, I'm learning something new. So it's coming back. And I really appreciate you, like I said, coming on and do well today. if not get that job done right, but man, do well and give them all you got, because it's going to be a joy for people to watch your team play.
Absolutely. We want to try to shock the world, Coach. And, like I said, we don't have to be the best team, but if we play the best 32 minutes, anything can happen. So we expect to win, and we're going to give our best effort, and much respect to you and Matt and girls basketball in general in 757, and we're looking forward to having a great time today.
Good luck to you, John.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Jonathan Wilson, our guest here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com. Thank you, Coach, here on ESPN Radio 94.1, doing a nice job with that program. And a great day if you're a Norview fan. Your girls in action at 1 o'clock today. Your boys playing at 7 o'clock tonight against Maury at the Scope. They're certainly viewed as underdogs in both games, but you never know, Ed. That's why they play the games. And Norview's boys played Maury close twice, I think within 1 and within 5 or 6 another time. And the girls did play PA relatively tight last year. Maybe you get PA on an off day and you're in the ball game. Certainly, I wouldn't pick probably either to win the game, but this time of year, crazy things happen. And we haven't had that shocker yet. And we always get probably usually like 1 or 2 surprises, upsets in the tournament. So maybe it happens today. I know you're hoping it to be your team against Green Run today.
Yeah, John talked about it, and everybody knows the big elephant in the room, Princess Anne. They're great. They're just simply great. They're a national level team. Darnell Dozier. Nobody really wants to play him, but I know John a little bit. Played for him before. He's not going to back down from it. And like he said, be the best. You got to beat the best, and they are. Of course, we as coaches we want to play the best teams in the championship rounds. When put it all on the line. But you're right. You have to get through them. Sometimes you take somebody like a Princess Anne, you knock them down. Then the next game it's harder to win because your team is like, hey, we beat the greatest. Yeah, but you got more games to go. And again, against a team like PA, you can't make a lot of dumb mistakes because they're going to capitalize on them. You can't give a good team more and more chances. It's too hard to come back from. And you just got to execute. The bottom line, all the adrenaline, you're playing at the Scope, all that's nice. But when the adrenaline is gone, you have to execute. What did you do to get there? You've got to keep doing it and a little bit extra. And you've got to count on somebody stepping up that maybe hasn't lately, because you're probably going to have one person that's not playing the best of their games. It's just one of those days. You don't want any injuries. You don't want a bunch of wacky calls. But then again, you have some pretty doggone good officials at this level. So you just want to allow things going the right way for you.
I didn't get a chance to mention it last segment, the TCIS results last night. Bishop Sullivan, a winner 61-60 over Cape Henry. Thomas is happy about that. They got 2 D1 signees in Keenan Sarvon and Sign going to St. Joe's, and Sean Walker in the backcourt headed to Siena. You know who Sean Walker's dad is. Used to coach at, was it Grambling State?
That's last coaching job, I think.
At Elizabeth City State now, right?
He used to be Elizabeth City State. Then he went to Grambling.
No, I think you got it backwards. Google that for us, Thomas. I think Sean Walker Sr.'s at Elizabeth City State now. I'd put a sandwich on it with you, but I don't want you to. Okay. I don't want to mess with you today. So
you can do that. I
think he's at Elizabeth City State. I think that's where he's at. I could be wrong. I know he's coached at both. Let's put it that way.
Both. I thought
we're just not sure which is that now.
I thought Elizabeth City Grambling. You think it was?
I think he was at Grambling. I think he's at Elizabeth City State now. We'll find out. Who was right on this?
I've seen Grambling State in 2017, but
you're not saying anything now.
I think it's back to ECSU.
Yeah, I think
so he's making
like an August 16th. They
so wait a second.
He was going back to ECSU.
So he was at ECSU before to Grambling. So maybe he's gone from ECSU to Grambling back to.
That's what happened. It was ECSU to Grambling.
So we were both kind of right on that. Then there you go. We were both right.
All right, we'll take credit for that.
We'll take that. And the other game was Norfolk Academy with Mark Williams beating Stewart School 54-51. So tonight over there, HRA. I believe it's 6 o'clock. Bishop Sullivan and Norfolk Academy.
Trying to go 2 for 2, Matt. 2 for 2. Women's side also.
Girls also moving on. That's right. Moving on to the TCI's championship. You could get the daily double. How about that? Could be a big day for the Crusaders and crew life. There you go. Always a big day in the life of one Keith, usually of Smithfield, but today Surrey County, who now joins us on ESPN Radio 94.1. Good morning, Keith.
How you doing, Matt? How you doing this morning?
I'm peachy. I'm a little better than Ed is, though, right now.
It's a little wet out.
Yeah, I'm in motion. I feel good this morning.
You feel good. Now, are you going to make the trip to Scope and put on your Nansman River Warrior outfit and gear and do the tomahawk? Are y'all doing a tomahawk chop now? I saw your fans. Are you going to do the tomahawk chop for Ed today, Keith, or no?
No, I won't be there today. Matter of fact, I won't be with at the Scope today. I'm headed to the Sussex Center today.
Oh, you got to go see the Surrey boys and girls try to get a couple of championships tonight, huh?
Yeah, I'm going in there. I got somebody on the team play for Surrey.
That's right. He related to you. He's like your cousin or his nephew, right?
Nephew, he played for Surrey, and other night when I came over, he got in the game, and I had motion. I had crying, little tears coming by. When I saw him get in the game, he got in there. He's aggressive on defense, and he will hustle to the ball too.
Okay, so you got emotional. Were you crying because you didn't know if he's good enough to play, or are you crying because that he's real good at? Why are you crying, Keith?
When he made that 3-pointer, and Edwards got me emotional.
You were proud of the fact he's out there doing some stuff.
Yes,
I got you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because sometimes when I watch our team play, I cry too.
Keith, they got a good shot too, real quick. You in the paper, I think it might have been the Smithfield Churchland game. Someone sent me a photo of you. One of the photographers got you on the corner there.
Yes, he got me on the corner. He got me on the picture, and I didn't know I didn't know he was gonna do it. He caught me off guard.
Yeah, because you could have posed for it if you would have known, right?
Yes, sir. I want to ask Mike Hatfield. Surrey got easy break going to the state. You think who would opponents would be in the state semifinal, with the quarterfinal, would they get there?
Well, I don't know if I'd ever say it's an easy bracket, Keith, but I would tell you that I like their path to the state championship game. They actually will get, if they win, Riverheads, which lost last night to Carver Academy 54-42. Really surprised by that. Carver does have a veteran coach, and Reggie Simon used to coach at Hopewell, doing a terrific job with them. They're now 21-5 on the year. I like their matchup against them at Riverhead. They might see Rappahannock, by the way, again in the state semis. I wouldn't rule that out. Across the state, I'd keep an eye on both George Wythe out of Wytheville and Eastside, which beat Grundy last night, 63-53. Eastside's not as towering and as big as they were last year when they had those two twin towers of Luke Lawson and Colin Sturgill, who both went on to the next level. However, they do have a lot of playoff experience. They're a faster team than last year, maybe a pinch more athletic, and their guards are pretty good. So, nonetheless, I'm still rolling with Surrey to win it for the boys. On the girls' side, Perry McClure is going to be hard to beat.
I know that. I think they're going to focus. Surrey going to focus on the game tonight, and we get down to Perry McClure. I think they're going to. Hope they can shock them for the first time beating them.
Yeah, I don't think it's a shocker if they win the game. I think it's a close game, but I'd give the slight edge right now to Perry McClure. But that game, it would be a fun one again if we got that rematch in the state final on the girls' side.
Yes, sir. Hey, I hope you good luck tonight. Get screen running, man. Hope you guys play hard tonight. Battle hard tonight.
Well, I appreciate it. I hope we do too. We got to play hard. We got to play exciting ball. And we got to stop Green Run from what they like to do. And there's a whole lot of stopping we're going to have to do. And again, it's my good buddy Kenny Harris, but I told him he's got more years to go than I do. So we got to move on, and he's got to wait.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a nice weekend.
All right,
you
take
too,
care,
Keith.
Green Run led by the Beach Player of the Year we found out this morning in Ashley James. So he got that award, and he might be up for Tidewater Player of the Year, and Eddie could very well be up for State Player of the Year in Class 5. I know that generally goes to the team that wins it, and they could be the team that wins it. Verona and Elsie Bird are the favorites, but to me, he's a virtual lock for first team All-State, and he's on the short list of candidates for that award.
Hey, did Verona beat Bird last night, right?
Verona beat Bird by 10. That is correct.
Okay, so somebody out of our region has to travel to play Verona up there.
Yes.
And the winner gets to stay here and play LC Bird.
Yes. Verona at 23-1, defending state champs, won 53-43 last night. LC Bird at 20-5 overall. They did beat Verona once this year. Their other losses coming to Verona twice, Monacan once, James River, who's in the Class 6 state tournament, and Northside, who's in the Class 3 state field. So there you have it. More to do here on High School Sports Talk. We'll hear some interviews. We got Kenny Brown around the corner from Lake Tiller, too. Don't go anywhere. It's your home for high school sports. ESPN Radio 94.1.